My 30F partner, 32M, of 5 years just told me he has developed feelings for somebody else. Not sure how to cope. He says that nothing happened between them and that he doesn't want to end our relationship. They had a conversation about it, admitting to their feelings for one another, and he told her he had no interest of pursuing anything or leaving me. They work together, so a clean break isn't possible, though he says they haven't been talking or spending time together outside of any professional capacity for a few weeks. I know that developing crushes while in relationships is normal, and that since nothing happened I can't be too upset, but I am still having a really hard time. I have a history of being cheated on, and this is reigniting a lot of those similar feelings of self-loathing. The fact that they spoke about it weeks before he came to me feels like a betrayal. He feels like shit, I feel like shit. Would love to hear about anyone who has been in a similar experience, and any resources you found helpful. TLDR, partner developed feelings for somebody else, doesn't want to break up, not sure where to go from here. Edit, I just want to thank everyone for their comments and messages. I didn't really expect this to gain this much traction, and mostly just wanted to get it off my chest and get a few opinions. You've all been so helpful at helping me make sense of the thoughts swirling around in my head. Greater than I know that developing crushes while in relationships is normal. Developing crushes is one thing, confessing is another. Letting his crush get to the point of talking with her about his feelings for her isn't. Nothing happened, and you feel betrayed because you were /betrayed. People get crushes, it happens, but they can choose to deal with that themselves or within their relationship. Or to take that emotion outside the relationship and confide a major emotional issue affecting their partner in someone else rather than their partner, and he chose the latter. It's okay that you're hurt. It's okay to tell him that this kind of thing can be recoverable. Mostly it's just a matter of time and distance, and refocusing on your own relationship. But the distance is going to be pretty hard to get while he's still working with her. So I wonder if it might help to add some couples therapy to the mix, or even to consider a job hunt to see if there's a reasonable alternative. Greater than he says that nothing happened between them and that he doesn't want to end our relationship. They had a conversation about it, admitting to their feelings for one another, and he told her he had no interest of pursuing anything or leaving me. He says have low trust that he's telling you the full truth. From your comments, you noticed something was up and was checking in with him a bunch of times, and he kept brushing you off or saying it was nothing. So based on his actions, he developed feelings for someone at work. It happens, hid it from you for weeks, sulked about it and lied to you about the cause, plenty of times flirted enough that they thought it was okay to have a conversation about their mutual feelings. Confessed his feelings to another person, again all without telling you. Hunch. This pattern of behavior sounds more like he was putting you on hold at home while he was pursuing someone else. Then, when it didn't work out with her, he came back to you with the sulking and gave you a version of the story that you might find more palatable as his backup girlfriend. No apparent remorse. From what you've shared, I'm not getting the necessary remorse from him or even promises to change. It sounds like he just brushed it under the rug, saying oh but nothing really happened, so I guess let's stay together. Or where's the enthusiasm he should have for you? The commitment to do better and actions that show you he means it? Potential paths forward, even if he's telling the full truth, which I do not believe is the case. This is emotional cheating, and I would not be able to trust him without big changes or counseling. But even though counseling is almost always a good idea, counseling makes less sense to me here because he seems to be showing no remorse. I personally would not want to stay with this guy in your shoes. I'd be a little concerned about this. The first person your partner should have talked to about this was you, not the woman from work he has feelings for. The primary relationship is yours, not theirs, and he should be behaving as such. That would be something you may need to address with him, as it's quite worrying. Lady, this happened to me. I caught my ex going behind my back to confess his feelings to a coworker, claiming it was to get things off as that coworker freaked out and went off on him. Clearly he was expecting her to reciprocate. In the process, it came out that they were alone together at some point and they had cuddled, which is a lie. They're not scared kids huddling after watching a horror movie. Adults don't do that when they're thing. I know, this chick messaged me to talk in private, which made my ex freak out. He started yelling that she was crazy. Again, another sign of him hiding something and not wanting me to find happened. This girl knew he was in a relationship. He knew I was struggling with personal issues. I don't know the whole story, but I know they are liars and that is enough. All this was going on a month after my dad died unexpectedly. I blocked them both and haven't looked back. Life is hard and you want people by your side that will be there for you when it gets tough. These people don't care about you and only care about saving their skins. I asked myself, why didn't they think about what I was going through? The truth is that they never did. All they care about is themselves, so give them the same indifference they gave you. Greater than he says that nothing happened between them. Greater than they had a conversation about it, admitting to their feelings for one another. That's not nothing happening. My thing, if he had no intentions of pursuing her or leaving, why even admit feelings? I think he's lying. Willing to bet she was the one that rejected him and that's why he was so moody. A different perspective that I haven't seen in the comments yet. I wonder if he's told you because he doesn't want to be the bad guy that breaks up your relationship. But knowing your history, he knows you will struggle with this and it might lead to you breaking up with him, leaving him free to be the good guy. I say this because of how you have described his behavior before he told you about it. You said he's been weird since everything happened, distant, sleeping a lot, generally moody and depressed. Add in the fact that he discussed it with her first, putting her before you, and he doesn't seem to be moving on or making efforts to reassure you, that you've told us about. Greater than they had a conversation about it, admitting to their feelings for one another, and he told her he had no interest of pursuing anything or leaving. You found out about this afterwards? I would be incandescent with rage. It feels like a betrayal because it is a betrayal. Think about how that conversation even started. There must be enough flirting going on for them both to know that the other has feeling for them. Also, the rest of the workplace think you should take the time and space to reflect on how you feel. You say your partner doesn't want to break up. That's nice, but what do you want to do? Can you trust him again? What is he doing to try to engender trust? This rings so many warning bells, so I don't know where to start. First, no, you don't always catch feelings for others in a long-time relationship. And if you do, the first thing you do is dealing with it within yourself. Not discussing it with the person it involves, and definitely not without talking to your significant other first. I see so many breaches of trust from his behalf and making it your problem. It's not okay. Will you trust him in the future? He's laying around mourning this loss in your joint household, and you should comfort him and make him feel better. This is a he problem, not a you problem. He has to deal with this and do it in a respectful way towards you and your marriage. It's time for him to grow into his big boy pants and either leave you and give you a life with a partner who deals with problems with you first, or this up and try all he can to mend the things he has broken in your marriage. He has to talk to you and ask what he can do for you to feel trust again. You are not obligated at all to listen to this and help him drop this. He has to take himself drop it. As I said, it's a he problem. I personally feel like he should have come to you first before talking to his coworker. Talking to the coworker to establish boundaries was a good idea, but the fact he didn't tell you is worrying to me. I would say that making sure you two are on the same page about boundaries and what to do if this happens again is the least you should do. Also, therapy, couple and individual, would help, I bet. Hasn't hung out with her outside of work for a few weeks. Did I read that right? He already cheated. Him telling his coworker about his feelings is emotional cheating. Even if he tells her he doesn't want to pursue those feelings, him sharing that is building on his feelings, opening up to her, building an emotional connection with her. If it was a harmless crush, he could work on getting over that without sharing his feelings with her. He crossed boundaries by telling her about his feelings. That alone would be a deal breaker for me. Then add in the fact that he wants to be able to keep working with her. It sounds like wants to be able to absolve himself by dumping this on you and her to emotionally deal with, and doesn't want to inconvenience himself by dealing with the fallout, by finding a new job, etc. He sounds selfish at best. Who cares if he doesn't want to break up? He emotionally cheated, violated relationship boundaries by confessing his feelings to another woman, and wants to be able to see her at work. Doesn't that make you want to break up? You don't need his permission to dump him. Father, I've certainly had a few little workplace/school crushes over the years while in relationships. Know what I do? Subtly back off and create distance. Keep it professional. And don't forget, the key step, nothing. Then like clockwork the crushes go away after a month or two of occasional idle fantasizing, and I inevitably chuckle at how unattractive the person actually is once the crush clears. That's the part that crossed the line. Don't tell the coworker that. Work that out on your own, and I almost can guarantee time will pass and you'll realize the feelings have gone and you'll be thankful you didn't blow up your life for something so trivial. Is aware that crushes are normal and can happen while someone is committed. Doesn't even have to be a problem, so long as the person with the crush leaves it at that. But in my mind the betrayal is not the crush but the conversation. It is absolutely inappropriate for him to declare his feelings to his colleague, and a bit of a nightmare that his colleague feels the same. The only way that Op and her partner can get through this is with openness and communication. I would suggest that a few sessions with a therapist would be good to start the ball rolling. Is possible that Op's partner has just never had a crush while in a relationship and is handling it badly. But that is the best case scenario. He needs to put his energy into working with Op to strengthen the relationship, and he needs to be the one driving this. It is not up to Op to fix an issue that he has caused. It is not up to Op to ask him for help to fix it. He needs to take the lead here and say, I want us to work through this together. I love you and I am committed to you. And I have been blindsided by my interest in this colleague. Can we see a therapist together to unpack what is going on here? I want to work on myself so that this betrayal, the confession to the coworker, doesn't happen again. And I want us to come out of this, else from him suggests that he is either hoping the problem goes away or he hasn't been totally honest with Op.